Hello, Looney. Why was there a bouquet of flowers and a letter that says, "We're sorry for your loss in regards to your fellow reviewer and friend Channel Hopper," outside of my door? Wait, you all thought I was dead? I just moved to a new house. Wait, who said I was dead? Who's damn Naval?
Oh, you motherf-
Oh, he is so dead. Hello cartoon fanatics of the internet, I'm your cartoon and animation fanatic Channel Hopper, and the channels I hop through are good enough to review. So I apologize for the lack of reviews lately and the fact that some folks thought I was dead. I've just been very busy with moving to a new house in order to complete future projects. And speaking of the future, let's talk about the latest addition to the Mystery Skulls animated lineup entitled The Future. So let's examine what the video has to offer in terms of the characters, the story, the animation, and overall replay value this time around. Continuing on from the last entry in the MSA series, we see Lewis is close to taking his revenge out on his former friend Arthur after giving chase in the previous iteration, Hellbent, but as Lewis is about to accomplish the goal he set out to do, there seems to be something making him conflicted about said actions when comparing Arthur's fate to his own, which could be a sign of his humanity trying to regain control. We slowly see the bottom of the pit start to disintegrate until Uncle Lance gets a few shots off on Lewis, which distracts him long enough for Arthur to examine the fallen locket of his old friend. It is then we find out there's actually two images contrasting with one another in quick succession, with one being only of Lewis and Vivi and the other of a shot being of the whole gang, which the latter seems to have come as a surprise to our big guy, as evident by his shocked expression and the fleeting tears from his eye sockets, which I believe to be tears of joy, knowing that all of his friends are together in the shot, thus meaning they're all just as important to him as Vivi is. And here's where my first theory comes into play. All the memories of Arthur being jealous of Vivi and Lewis were completely false, most likely corrupted by Lewis's own vengeful thinking or possibly another entity, perhaps the deadbeats or the spirit of the severed arm that pops up from time to time. If we look back to all the previous installments all the way back from Ghost to Hellbent, we can assume that these moments are all from the perspective of Lewis, which depicts Arthur as the third wheel of the group, envious towards Lewis and Vivi's relationship. However, if that's the case, then why do they all look so happy and joyful in their group photo together as though they hold no ill will towards each other? What further supports this idea is that if Vivi got her memory erased of Lewis after the events in the haunted cave, then why would Arthur still be looking for him, as evident by his computer search in the sequel freaking out? And if Lewis is gone, Vivi has no memory of her former boyfriend, and no one else is none the wiser, then why bother looking for him if he has her all to himself? Because Arthur isn't jealous. He actually cares about his old pal and is trying everything to find him, and Lewis is most likely after him because he thought he was jealous since he pushed him off without realizing that he was possessed to do so. There's more that I wanted to say about these scenes, but for now I'll move on to the second plot of the video, and oh boy, it is my favorite part. Continuing on from their battle in Hellbent, Shiromori is not holding anything back in order to obtain the blood of Mystery, in what I can assume is for the purpose of increasing her own power, since the last time Mystery's blood was used on a lone flower in the decaying woods, it rejuvenated the surrounding area into a flourishing forest of white trees, as evident by the images associated with the previous Mystery Skulls video. As Shiromori gets closer to Mystery, Vivi is transported to another plane of existence where she comes face to face with a mysterious icy samurai to whom we're given the official name Mushi. The name translates to insect or bug, but in the broad sense the kanji for mushi usually refers to everything else in the animal kingdom that isn't a bird, fish, or furry, and at one point the other kanji for mushi also included humans. And if we're going on the topic of names, we actually have Vivi's last name and a concept art of her family. Let me introduce you guys to the Yukino family. There's little old Granny Yukino and Mr. and Mrs. Yukino. The mom hails from America, while the dad and grandma hail from Japan. And speaking of which, the name Yukino means to be like snow. And I'm starting to notice a pattern with this family and snow. But enough about that, let's get back to the badass fight sequences. Vivi now has the power of her ancestors' ice attacks, which allows her to get the upper hand on Shiromori, which makes me think back to the images from Hellbent. One shows Mushi coming face to face with a mysterious kitsune with an almost evil-like grin on his face. Since kitsunes are depicted as tricksters, it's led me to believe that Mystery wasn't always good. Not to mention the fallen samurai helmet next to the tree. My guess is that Mystery was once the guardian of the forest and with his own blood caused it to grow exponentially, thus leading the blue samurai to take action and fight the beast, most likely to avenge the previous warrior and stop the spirit from continuing its evil. However, she didn't kill Mystery, only weakened him and changed his ways, as evident by this particular line of text that I came across on Mysteryben's Tumblr page while researching this video. Here it reads, "A bescarfed warrior from an ancient time, she wields an enchanted chilly blade, cold enough to slice through even the most hot-headed demon. Her fate seems entwined with the modern-day Vivi, but in what way currently remains a mystery." How I interpret it is that the cord from her sword frees the evil nature of the spirit, thus changing his ways and becoming loyal to the warrior, now leaving the forest to defend for itself. According to Kitsune lore, they would often use their magic to benefit their companions as long as they treat them with respect. If given material gifts like money, it would often cause it to turn back to what it was disguised as before, such as a rock, a stick, or leaves. So a true gift by a kitsune would often be intangible ones such as offering protection, knowledge, or long life for the individual. With the power of her ancestor by her side, Vivi and Shiromori display an incredible fight sequence complete with animated moving shots, effects shots, and close-up shots all combined into one sequence. Mysteryben and his team have definitely come a long way in the animation department, as each scene leaves a strong impact in both the physical and emotional sense while also keeping up with the beat of the music. The way the characters express their emotions are well executed, from Lewis's tearful realization of his friend, to Mystery and Vivi showing mercy to Shiromori and ending the fight before more blood is spilled. It's also unclear as to what Mystery's relationship is with Shiromori, as both seem to know the other one on a personal level. Seeing an opportunity, the spirit moves in for one last attack and slices Vivi across the gut, thus causing Mystery's heart to tear open, and grows out his 8th tail and lunges forward to attack, but falls short only to have Vivi witness her friend get hurt and charges up for one final attack on the creature's own heart, and thus ending Shiromori for the time being. But it's not over yet, as Mystery succumbs to his wounds and passes out, but not before receiving his 9th and final tail. But something's not right, as a sudden burst of energy erupts and affecting all members of Mystery's goals, and transforming Mystery into something dark with the help of one entity that we haven't seen for a long time. This is by far the most intense moment in the video, as the creature, known as Murder Mystery, has reached his final potential and is under the influence of an evil spirit who's been following the Mystery crew for quite some time now. Now, where do I even begin with this one? First off, after examining this scene some more, there seems to be 8 individual colors of energy radiating from Mystery's heart, which has seen better days. Going off the color palettes associated with characters that we know of, we can see Arthur on the top left with Mystery right next to him, Vivi's at the bottom left with green energy, which I can assume is the spirit from the severed arm, or Lefty as he's called, Shiromori's white energy on the top right, and Lewis's magenta color at the bottom, but then we're left with 2 unknowns, purple and black. Which, if I had to guess, then the black energy would be associated with a fallen samurai since it matches the color of the headpiece. But who can be associated with the purple color? Maybe the next video will reveal it. From this point on in the video, I want to discuss the music, as it's pretty much what holds the animated piece together and plays an integral part in the story. Just like the previous video, the AMV features two Mystery Skulls songs, with the first being the introduction to the video and the second as the main story. The first song, entitled Enemy, is pretty self-explanatory as Lewis confronts Arthur on how the previous events led up to this point where these two were once friends and now became enemies in his eyes. Though unbeknownst to Lewis, Arthur was possessed at the time, causing him to fall to his death. Track 2, and also the main title of the video, The Future, is an interesting choice for the fourth installment as the lyrics seem to be focusing on making sense of the situation at hand and not wanting to focus on the past events but looking ahead to where the future takes them from this point. Lewis is still haunted by the actions of the past and wants revenge for Arthur's misdeeds, but isn't asking the question why it happened or how to fix it. Similarly, Mystery's past actions seem to be catching up to him as Shiromori is focused on Mystery's blood as it has helped her in the past and wants more to satisfy her addiction. As the fight continues, the lyrics seem to focus on no longer worrying about the past, as now's the time to focus on the task at hand, trying to survive, dodging vines and attacks from all angles, and trying to regain control of the situation. We can see everyone, including Lewis, is working together to stop Shiromori and end the suffering, but not without a few casualties. With the music out of the way, I think it's about time I give my final thoughts on the video. At first, there were so many events happening on screen, which kinda made the video feel a bit overwhelming and difficult to follow along, but after a few more viewings, I managed to put the pieces together. Despite being the more heavily animated video thus far in the series, the true heart of the video comes from the subtle and slow-paced moments, from Shiromori and Mystery having one last look at each other as they part ways again, to Lewis realizing his mistake and changing from hunting Arthur to helping him instead. A few more gems I caught on the second watch is Vivi's bat being equipped with a talisman, and it took a while to find, but then I just found it out on the Mystery Skulls Wikipedia page, which translates to Kanai Anzen, meaning please keep my family from harm, most likely a charm passed down from her grandma. I wonder if she's actually the Ice Samurai. Another part I'm glad I caught on the second watch was a single tear falling from Shiromori as she attacked Mystery, showing just an ounce of humanity from someone thought to be evil. Most likely we'll get the full story of her past with Mystery in the next video. Overall, everything about this video just stood out in a positive way for me. The characters all coming together, the music, the tone of the video combined with a spectacular animation from everyone who worked on it. From the humble beginnings of the series to the soon-to-be climactic finale of the series, Mysteryben has created something that will surely last a lifetime. And that was Mystery Skulls animated The Future. Be sure to let me know what you all thought about the video in the comments below. Until next time, I'm your cartoon and animation fanatic, Channel Hopper, and the next review is just a click away.